If y'all will recall, about a week maybe ago, I mentioned that at the highest point of this lesson, that I would give you an equation. I'd give you a point, and I'd say, hey, I want you to write an equation of a line going through this point that I give you, and I want it to be either parallel to this line I'm giving you or perpendicular. Do y'all remember anything about that?
That stuff on that board?
Hmm?
The stuff you wrote on that board?
Like it'll be on the Cartesian plane. Yeah, yes. That's the end game. Okay, that's okay. I'll show you today. It's okay. That's what we're doing today. So let's do a recap real quick. Parallel lines. I'm looking on a Cartesian plane. They look like this, right? Okay. What do I know about their slopes? The same. Okay. What are perpendicular lines? Cross make 90 degrees. Somebody else said what?
Opposite reciprocal.
Opposite reciprocal. Yeah. Give me an example, somebody.
9/250.
Close.
Negative.
Yeah. Right. So what I'm going to start out with today is this. I'm going to show you, and you probably remember this from Algebra 1. If so, hey, it's going to be an easy lesson. If not, this is going to be really beneficial to you. I'm going to show you a form that will let you take any point and a slope, put them together, and you got a line. You got an equation for a line. And you do it inside of 5 seconds. Maybe 5.5. It is late in the day, right? So here's the equation. Does that look familiar to y'all? Have y'all ever seen anything like that? Some yes, some no. Back in Algebra 1, I think it's chapter 5, you ever learn how to do equations. This is one of them that you learned, but it's been a year ago, so maybe rusty. Or 8th grade, yeah. So 2 years ago. So, all right, here's how it works. The m still means the same thing. What's m stand for? Slope. Now the x1 and the y1, that's the point that they're going to give you. That's what you put in those places. So if we jump in, let's do number 1 together. So that's going to be your x of 1. That's going to be your y sub 1. And the slope is the 2. So I just need to plug them into the right spots. Biggest thing people mess up on with these is they forget signs. That's just like any part of math. Like if that 4 had been a -4, when you put it inside the equation, remember it becomes plus. Yeah, stuff like that. It's usually what happens. Now, as far as point slope form, you're done. That's it. Solve for what? Now I can convert it to slope intercept form from here, but I'll build up to that later. But right now, that's all I want you to do.
So that's all I just solved this.
You just wrote the equation for that line. Yeah. So now a couple things I'll just bring to light real quick. Let's say that pretend that you didn't know that stuff up there at the top. Let's say I gave you the equation just right out of the gate. And I said, hey, pull the point out of that equation and pull the slope out. Okay, so say I said it backwards. One thing you need to remember is that this value right here, when you pull it out, you're going to make the opposite sign of what's showing here. So you notice how this is a +4? Right there it's a -4. Make sure you make that swap. That's the only thing you really got to remember. So that would be a 4. That would be the y value. That would be your 1. That's your ordered pair. That's your slope. You're done. Make sense? All right, y'all try the next 3. Play. All right, slope on the third one.
-5/2.
So x minus 2 minus 1. Or if you use the 4, -6, you just interject that in. All right, what's the last one? 3. So x minus 2 plus 7.
Or x plus 3 minus 8.
Yeah, or you could have done, yeah. How are we faring so far? Pretty good? How many of y'all took the extra step in, because I didn't ask you to, but some of you do, that's fine, converted it over to slope-intercept?
I did the first one.
Does it, because I know y'all obviously know how to do it. The rest of you, do you know how to convert over to slope-intercept? If you don't, just say so and I'll show you.
Yeah, I know.
You just get the x1, and so you can tell me which x1 is and which one you use your thinking.
Okay. So let me let me do one just to make sure everybody is good. Okay.
Negative 2 multiplied by x.
Yeah, that's right. You take the negative 2, distribute. So that'd give you a negative 2x plus 2. That minus 1 that's sitting outside by itself, bring it here.
Add it in with the number 2. Or subtract it.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh, okay.
Just convert. That's converting it over to the slope-intercept. Did y'all by chance do that on all of them? Take a couple minutes and just it won't take you long, as you can see it's pretty quick. Those last 3, 6, 7, and 8, convert those over real quick. Real quick, we'll zip through this. So distribute the 1/3. That's 1/3 x plus 2 minus 7. So 1/3 x minus 5. Good.
He said, what?
Hey,
Oh.
is that thing still recording? I just want to make sure I hit the button right. Is it working? Okay. All right. So distribute the negative 5/2. That's negative 5/2 x plus 5 minus 1. There you go. So far, so good? Oh, man, I should give you a test just on this, right?
Are we supposed to like solve it out all the way?
Yeah, well, when you say solve it out, what you really mean is converting it to slope-intercept form. But yes, yeah. Well, now, originally I didn't tell you, but some people went ahead, and I was going to have you do it anyway. So.
Yeah, I went ahead and did it, but I erased it.
Oh man, you should have done that. All right, last one. So 3x minus 6 plus 7.
I'm sure that's right, but I didn't do that one.
How'd you do it?
I did the other problem.
Oh, the other point. Okay, so but you still got the same thing, right? So that just reiterates that we're getting the same. Y'all feel pretty good with this? Like we can move on a little bit deeper? All right, let's go. So flip it over to the next page.
Let's move back to that.
All right, so here's where it all comes to a head. So I'm going to give you an equation. Now you need to pay attention to the equation that I give you because sometimes it's in slope-intercept form and you can look at it and go, oh, there's a slope. So like number 9, for instance, I give you this equation. What's the slope? 2. So we know that fast. And I'm giving you this point here, -4, -1. Now they want you to write a line that's going through that point that's parallel to this given line. So I need to know the slope of my given line, which y'all just said it was 2, right? So this line, so here's going to be this line right here, right? 2 over 1, something like that. So this line's going to be doing this, right? Or it could be above. It's not touching it, right? What's the slope of that line going to be? So I'm going to make sure I write down this information. And just for the heck of it, I'll just rewrite the point so it's there. Now your final answer, I want you to write it in slope-intercept form. But you can start out just like what we did on the other ones, right? Just do the point-slope form. And from there, convert it to slope-intercept. And you're done.
That's all we did.
Now again, things I'll caution you about, make sure your equations that they give you is in slope-intercept form. For instance, just if you'll breeze over the paper with me just real quick, look at number 11. What form is it in?
Y,
What is it?
standard.
Standard. It's in standard form. So you'd have to take that equation right there, convert it over first to slope-intercept form, then look at it. Okay, this is the slope. This is the slope I'm going to use to write the other equation. So there's a little bit more work involved. I'll say one more thing, and then I'll shut up. Look at number 12. Number 12, they're not asking parallel, they're asking perpendicular, right? So my given equation on number 12, it is in slope-intercept form. But I need the slope that's perpendicular to that one. So if the slope of this was 3/4, what's the slope of that perpendicular line?
-4.
There you go, -4/3. That opposite reciprocal thing? That's what you'll do on those, okay? So I'll stop the recording right there. Y'all go ahead, that page. Work on that and see how you do.